Hey guys, what's going on today? BOJoeKO here, and we are back with our NHL 15 GM mode commentary with the Vancouver Canucks. And hopefully, we'll be able to get some simulating done in this episode today. But we have to discuss some things first. So, I restarted a new save file on this for this GM mode just because of the early access thing. I didn't have the right roster update on it. So, I activated the new rosters. I redid the trade negotiations or the trade difficulty. I put it on medium because a lot of people were saying if you put it on hard, it is almost literally impossible to try to make a trade with another team. So we're gonna drag that back a little bit to a medium. And I just wanted to show you guys the contracts once again because some players' potentials did change. Not much, but just a little bit. So we'll just fly through a couple of these really quick, notable. So as you guys can see, remember when Jacob Markstrom was elite? Yeah, not anymore. He is going to be an NHL starter. Same thing with Alak. So we could keep, and you could trade a guy like Jacob Markstrom. He could definitely be on the trading block. Let me see for defensemen. We'll look in the system, guys, all too much. So let's see. Everybody still looks good here. BX, Edler, Hamhuis, Spiza. Ryan Stanton is now classified as a top 4 defenseman with 80 overall, so they gave him a nice little boost, and he is considered a top 6. So there's our defensive lineup right there with Hamhuis and either Edler or Bieksa, and then Edler, Bieksa, and Spiza, and then Stanton and Christopher Tanev. So there's our defense. Yannick Weber can probably get sent down. Okay, that's what our defense looks like. Right wingers, Burrows, Dorsett, yeah, all these guys are still the same. Yep, all of them are still the same. Left wingers, Higgins, Sedin, and Sestito. Yep, they're all good. And then centers, Benino, Matthias, Richardson, Sedin, and Lyndon Vey. Also, I think Lyndon Vey got a little bit of a bump up. He's still a depth forward. Okay. And then in the system, guys, I don't think there was much, if anything, changed. Yeah, everything looks pretty the same with the defensemen. Yeah, Subban's still on there. Might have to sign some of these guys, but all right. So the potentials changed a little bit. Okay, so still the one major thing that we are looking for this Vancouver Canucks team is a right wing playmaker for that second line. So if I look at the edit lines feature for our team right now, because it sucks because the one thing I like about this is there is no AHL team, which is a little bit of a bummer. But the good thing is you don't have to worry about playing where your AHL guys are going to play. As long as you send them down there, I think they're going to get experience whatsoever. So here's our lineup once again with the Sedin twins of Urbata, Higgins, Benino, and Cassian, Hansen, Matthias, Burrows, Sestito, Richardson, and Dorsett. Okay, so like I said, we have Yannick Weber scratched, and Lyndon Vey are the only two scratched on our team right now. So, like I said, the one thing we're missing is a second line playmaker. We have Benino, who's a two-way forward, and we have Chris Higgins, who is that sniper. We need a second line right winger playmaker to put on this team because I would rather put Zach Cassian on the third line because he is a third line scorer. Move him down, and then we could possibly trade maybe a guy like I don't know who we could trade. Maybe a guy like Alexander Burrows could be somebody who could be a possible trading asset. Same thing with like Brad Richardson as well. Although I like both of these guys, Matthias is definitely the better choice for there. Hansen could be another guy who we might want to trade as well. He's actually considered a depth forward, so Hansen could be somebody that we trade. And then maybe we can bring up Lyndon Vey instead of Tom Sestito or Derek Dorsett, one of those two. And then you can see down the minors as well. I think we have I think there was another player in the minors that I could have brought up here as well. So, guys, for our offense, Burrows, Richardson, and Hansen are definitely guys that we could possibly put on the trading block. Everybody else I see perfectly fine. Defense, I don't think there's any problem here. Hamhuis, Bieksa, Edler, Spiza, Stanton, and Tanev. Yep, that's fine with me. And then goaltending. We have Miller and Eddie Lack as our starting two. But we could trade a guy like Jacob Markstrom or Eddie Lack and decide how we want to go from there. So we still need a second line playmaker, so we're going to do that right off the bat. We're going to go look for a second line playmaker. And it sucks that we can't use the trading block, but it's alright. We'll have to make deal with it. So hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to make trades now that I set it on medium, but it still might be a little bit difficult to accomplish. So we're going to be looking for right wingers only. right wingers only, and we're going to see about playmaker type players for the right wing. Now, there were a couple names that I tried out last time. I couldn't get it done on the recording I did beforehand. It didn't work. So there's one guy right here, a part of the Washington Capitals, which would be Marcus Johansson, who is a right wing playmaker. He's only 23 years old. He's got really good puck moving skills. He's a pretty fast skater, not the best shooting category, but really good senses with very good discipline. His defensive category is actually pretty good as well. So Marcus Johansson is somebody who I might be interested in for the Washington Capitals, but we're going to go through all the teams though first and take note of anything else we see. So Perry, Adam, Palmieri, nope, none of these guys. Looking for playmakers as well. All right, Doan, Erat, Moss, nope, none of them. Boston. Louis Erickson and Riley Smith, not really too interested in them. Buffalo, I doubt they have anybody. Stafford and Stewart, yeah, nothing working there. Carolina, 7, that's about it. Wouldn't be terrible for 7. Horton and Bjorkstrand, nope. Calgary, I think I want to look at left wingers for Calgary, just because. Johnny Gaudreau. Now, somebody suggested Johnny Gaudreau. I do think he's still a little bit too young to go after him. His trade value is really good, but you know what? He's not really the type of a playmaker that we're looking for. So Johansson's still number 1 on our list right now. Kane, we're not going to be able to trade for Patrick Kane. Colorado, Ginla Tanguay, now a little bit too old for us. We want a young player. We need to get some more youth on this team. Nichushkin, Ritchie, and Cole. No. Nichushkin's, I think, is a sniper. Mantha, Franzen, Yurko. Nope. None of those guys on Detroit. Edmonton. Eberle. He's more of a sniper than anything else. Now Yakupov. He's a sniper as well, right? Yeah. We don't need snipers. We need playmakers. Florida. Kopetsky. Nope. I still think Marcus Johansson would be the best bet right now. Tyler Toffoli, Gabrick, Williams. What do they have Williams classified as? He's a sniper. Alright, so no go on Justin Williams there. Minnesota, Pominville, a little bit too much. Niederreiter, still a little bit too much for him as well. He's a sniper, I believe, too. Montreal, P.A. Parento, but he's a little bit up there in age. 31, one a little bit younger than that. Camilleri, Rutu, Yager, Ryder. I don't think so for New Jersey. Nashville. Philippe Forsberg, but he's a little bit too young, and he's a power forward. New York Islanders. Okposo, Grabner, Kuhlman. What about Cooley? Cooley is a two-way forward. They have him classified as. Interesting. The Rangers, Martin St. Louis, a little bit too old. Ottawa, Bobby Ryan, not going to be able to get him. Philadelphia. Voracek, Simmons, Reed. Maybe some interesting players around here. Wayne Simmons, I think, would be a little bit too much to get, but you know, Simmer can move the puck around. He's got good puck moving skills. It's pretty good hand-eye and passing. He's got a good, decent shot, skating as well. Defense is good. Physical is good. Simmer wouldn't be bad. I would not be against bringing up Wayne Simmons. Well, I don't know. I'm on the Flyers, actually. Just out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity for this team. Lawton's right there. There's Raffle. Do they have all the prospects in here? I don't think they're going to have the college guys, because I don't think so. Maybe they might have all the defensemen. Morin's right there. Sanheim's right there. Hag's there. No, they don't have Goss to spare. I don't think they have college players in this game, weirdly enough. But alright, so Philly, they have nothing. Other than maybe Simmons. Pittsburgh, Hornquist, Dupuis, nope. San Jose, Burns, a little bit too much. St. Louis, Oshie, Tarasenko, and Ratty. No, I think TJ Oshie is a little bit too much for us right there. Tampa Bay, Callahan and Connolly and Panic. Kucherov as well. Probably skip on those guys. All right, Toronto. Kessel, way too much. Winnipeg. Wheeler and Frolik, a little bit too much. And then we get to Washington with Marcus Johansson. All right, so I definitely think our best bet here is to go for Marcus Johansson. I do like Wayne Simmons, but I kind of like Marcus Johansson left. He's got 1 year left at $2 million, which is pretty good as a top 6 forward for us. I think he is classified as a second liner. Let me just double check Marcus Johansson. Yep, he is considered a second line forward, so that's good. Right wing playmaker. He would go perfect on this team. Now, what can we add to this deal? Now, the trade value in this game is very weird, and the way trading works in this game is kind of weird as well. I really wish they would have explained it. So, from what I'm seeing from other people's series, and even though there's not that many out there, I think what you have to do is when you put a player up, and you're either putting players up or other assets from the other team. Apparently what you need to do is get this blue trade value meter to literally have nothing on both sides for both teams, and that trade will probably more than likely go through. And if there's like blue on one side, that means Washington's still asking for that much in return, and you have to give up that much in return. So hopefully we can work this out. But Marcus Johansson, all right, so if we want to get Johansson, all right, if we want to get Johansson here, what would we have to give up forward-wise? Let's see. So Sedins are staying. Shinkaruk I'm going to keep. Cassian I'm going to keep. Fertanen I'm going to keep. Horvat's not going anywhere. Benino's staying. Higgins is staying for now, I guess. Yeah, I guess Higgins will have to stay because I really don't have another sniper to bring up to that second line. Yeah, Higgins will stay there for right now. Gaunts I'm going to keep. Burrows could be a guy who we trade here. Alexander Burrows. Two-way forward, yeah. Burrows could definitely be a player there. McCann we're going to keep. Jensen. Well, Jensen's a sniper, isn't he? Yeah, he's a depth forward, though. I don't think I could see him. I think I could see him taking Higgins' spot in, like, a year or two, but not right now. 79 overall instead of a 85 overall on that second line. I mean, what's his puck moving skills? All 84s. Jensen's not that far off. What's the shot like? What's the shot differential here? 2.736. 3.6. Their shots actually ain't all that different. Jensen, skating, he's a pretty good skater. Higgins, I think, is a little bit quicker than him. Now they're pretty equal. Discipline, offensive awareness, and poise in the defensive category might be the difference makers here on that one. Senses category, yeah, he's more poised, and yeah, defensively. So Higgins is a much better defensively minded sniper, but Jensen is just as good offensively as he is, as Higgins is offensively. So, you know, if we want to trade Higgins here, I think we could, and maybe put Jensen on the second line. You know, this game has a weird way of making its players progress, so, you know, that could be something. Richardson could also be a player who we trade here. But at Bose, I would rather want to put Alexander Burrows up here first. Okay, Washington would be over the league salary cap. Okay, so let's see if we want to switch it out with Richardson first. Or maybe Higgins. Would they take Higgins? Let's see here. Higgins, Johansson. Alright, so where's Johansson's trade value at? It's about halfway between the A and the D, or between the A and the D. And Higgins looks to be about equal. Honestly, it looks pretty equal. I think we can add a little bit into this deal just to make it sway so far. I really don't want to give up Higgins. I'd rather give up Burrows just because. Burrows has I don't like the salary cap on Burrows. That's why it's a 4.5 for 2 more years. That's why I don't like it. Burrows' contract. Alright, let me take off Higgins. How do I take off players again? I do remove. Alright, so let's add Burrows in here. We're going to have to take some salary cap back from the caps. So let's sort it by salary. And looking for low trade value with... Why do they want to give up Vrana? Vrana has like little to no trade value. Jacob Brown, they want to give him up. He's 69 overall, 18 years old. I might be able to steal that. Let's see. Maybe a guy like Andre Burakovsky too. Beagle? Or do I need to take more than that? I need to take a little bit more than that. Maybe I can retain some salary from Burrows. Yeah, for 2 years. Let's see. I'll take. Let me see if I take a mill out. They're still going to be over by just a tad. Let's see if I add a bit more. I think the maximum I'm allowed is half. So if I take out 2 mil, and that would go under the cap. Okay. I don't. It still says it's disapproved. I don't know why. Like if I were to throw a Shinkrook in there, yeah, it still looks pretty weird. If you honestly. All right, so we have to get both of our bars down to 0. Okay, so we want to give up Burrow, so we're going to retain 2 mil of his cap. So that'll be Washington would be over the league minimum salary cap. I don't know why. When obviously ours is under. All right, let me see if I retain ultimately all of it. It still says they're well under it, and let me take back. Who had that really, really bad contract? Was it? I might actually want to try to pick up freaking Jacob Vrana from them. Because his trade value is really, really low. Alright, who was it? I think it was Beagle, right? Yeah, Beagle or Brown. Brown is AHL, so it's not going to go against the salary cap. I think it has to be J. Beagle. Yeah, J. Beagle. Okay. So Vancouver have more than 45 skaters in the organization. We understand that. All right, so let's add in here. So we got Alexander Burrows retain half of his cap for that allotted time for the next 2 years. Let's see, who else can we give them? We can give them a goaltender. We can give them maybe like Eddie Lack or Jacob Markstrom. I think I would want to give them Jacob Markstrom here because I think Eddie Lack has a better chance of progressing. Even though he's only going to get better by 1 more year, still. His role as a backup. I would rather want to give away Markstrom here instead of Lack. So we can add Markstrom to this deal. We would have more than 45 skaters in our organization. Yep, so we would have to get back a skater of some sort. Alright, so who would it be? Prospects-wise for skaters. Let's take a look here. I think we could give up a guy like Cole Castles for this one. In this trade. Yeah, let's give up Cole Castles here. He looks to be the lowest end of all of our prospects. Like Vey, Jensen look like they're going to be much better than Castles. So let's give up Castles. Washington would be over the league minimum salary cap. Still don't know why they're over it by so much. Let's add in something smaller again. I need another NHL player here. Aaron Volpatti. Okay, Volpatti's thing comes out of the value. Now I have to add in another player. That would put me over the forward lines. And let's see. Well, Volpatti. What's Volpatti look like? I wanted to actually just look at Aaron Volpatti here for a minute. So bottom 6 forward, he's considered a 4th liner. I don't know why they have the Ducks logo on him when he's actually part of the... That's really weird why they have the Ducks logo behind them. That's weird. Volpatti's a top 6. He's a... What is he? He's a grinder. Defensive category is not that great. Maybe you could just throw in a guy like Dorsett instead. But let me see here. I know that I can give up maybe a defensive prospect along with this too. Maybe like a Jordan Subban. Well, Jordan Subban only has the potential to become like a top 6. Or we could throw in Cedarholm too. No, let me give up Cedarholm here. And then Why does it say Washington would be over the league salary cap? I don't understand that. Like, it clearly says they're under the block, but oh, it might be that they have players that they need to move around. Let me see. What if I do this? Let's take... It's tough, man. See, making trades in this game is tough because they won a lot for it. What if I were to go... What if I were to go like... See, this is tough. Like, let me see here. Alright, if I wanted Marcus Johansson here. Like I said, these trades are tough. I would want to give up... I wonder if they would do Chris Higgins straight up. Like, the bars look pretty equal around here. I wonder if they would do Chris Higgins straight up for for Marcus Johansson. It's league approved. Their trade values look pretty dang equal, if you ask me. And then let me just throw in like a... No, I wouldn't be actually fine with this. We get the playmaker for the second line, then we can move up Jensen to the second line to play for instead of Higgins. Because Higgins got 3 years left at 2.5. Johansson only has 1 more year left at 2 mil. And then we can maybe find out another place to trade Burrows away for maybe another young second line sniper or something along those lines. Well, let's see if this goes through. Higgins for Johansson. Trade rejected isn't sufficient at all. Okay, so let's add a little bit to this deal. Alright, so why don't we give them, let's give them Castles. Let's give them Cole Castles. Alright, see, so the trade value lowered a bit. Alright, so let's give them Castles. And, well, let's just check that out. Let's just add Castles to the deal and see if that goes through. So Higgins and Castles for Johansson. Trade rejected. Okay. I think it really just needs, you need to keep just adding little bits by little bits onto this team, onto this thing. So, how about we add in Markstrom? Disapprove. Washington would be over the league salary cap. Okay, I think it just needs to be prospects here that we need to keep adding. Kanata and Erickson. What about draft picks? We could give them our second round pick this year. Okay, it's still lowering it a bit. Let's try it now. Higgins, Castles, and a second for Marcus Johansson. Trade accepted. On behalf of the Washington Capitals organization, I accept your trade offer. We'll see you out there on the ice. Okay, so I think it just needs to be, the blue bar needs to be more in our favor than their favor, I guess. So they accepted the trade. So they take, we get Marcus Johansson for Chris Higgins, Cole Castles, and a second round pick. So that's actually not a bad deal. We get a second line playmaker out of that. And now we can actually maybe possibly go out and trade Alexander Burrows and see if we can get something back for him. So hopefully some team out there has enough salary cap to take Burrows, or would want Burrows. And we can see if we can get something back for him. Alright, so we're going to take Alexander Burrows here. Alright, who is a top 6 forward, who is currently a... wanted to look at his stats. Oh, I guess you can't look at the stats on the thing. Nope, not Usadine. So he is currently a third line scoring forward. Alright, so let's see if there's going to be any teams that are going to be actually interested in Alexander Burrows. The Detroit Red Wings are actually interested in Burrows. Okay, that's good to know. Any other teams? LA, Montreal, Nashville, New York Rangers, St. Louis Blues, Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah, a lot of teams actually have some room for Alexander Burrows. All right, so let's go check out, and the Boston Bruins want him as well. All right, so let's go check out these Eastern Conference teams, and let's see. So we need now maybe a possible second line sniper to replace Chris Higgins, if we will. If we don't want to play Jensen there, we can find a new second line sniper. So can't look for snipers, which sucks, but or maybe I can. Yeah, I can sort by player type. How's this going to do? It goes grinders first, playmakers, and then snipers. Okay, so we got 2 snipers here. They got Riley Smith and Seth Griffith. So Riley Smith is 83 overall. He's a third line scorer. can maybe play him on that second line if all possible. His puck movement skills are up there. Shooting, he has potential only to be a top 9 forward, though. So maybe we want to look for somebody with a top 6 potential. All right, Buffalo. Well, only players that want Burrows. Teams that want him. Detroit. Let's see what Detroit has here. All right, let's sort this by player type. So they got BOJoeKO, Gustav, Nyquist. Let's check out the Goose. Gustav Nyquist is a second-line forward who is a sniper, elite potential, good puck moving skills, not the best shot. He's fast, very good census category as well for offensive awareness. So maybe like Marcus Johansson, Benino, and Nyquist on that second line, that wouldn't be bad. So Nyquist is still on that deal, 25 years old. That's not bad. It's not a bad trade there. So how's the trade value looking here for Burrows? Let's see. Burrows is, I guess, a little bit maybe between the R and the A. R and the A for Burrows, and Nyquist's is at, yeah, it looks pretty similar values. Pretty similar values on this one. Yeah, it looks pretty similar value there, Burrows for Nyquist. All right, so there's that we can do with Detroit. Let's go check out some other options here with the LA Kings. Let's see what they have, second line sniper wise. All right, so they got a lot of snipers on this team, a shit ton of snipers. So none of those guys. Carter, Toffoli, Watson, Gaborik, nope. Williams going to be a little bit too much as well. All right, so we're not going to go after any of those guys on the LA Kings. A little bit too much for our penny. The Montreal Canadiens, let's see what Montreal has. Okay, so we got, who do we got? Renway, Adriano Thomas, and Arturi Lehkonen. That's about it. That's all the snipers they have on their team. Okay, Nashville. Let's see, Nashville. 3 snipers, none which I'm interested in. They have Kevin Fiala, but that's about it. All right, so nobody on Nashville. All right, so Detroit's looking like the best bet so far for Nyquist. All right, so Rangers should have a couple snipers in here. They got Rene Bourque, Chris Bourque, Christo, Duclair, and Jesper Foss. All right, so nothing really great there. Anthony Duclair's got elite potential. That's crazy. All right, so nothing on the Rangers. St. Louis Blues. I think Tarasenko's name is going to pop up here. Yeah, I kind of figured that. Who else is going to pop up in here for the Blues? A lot of snipers here. So Tarasenko, Schwartz, Tyrati, a little bit under overall for that. And the Tampa Bay Lightning won them as well. Let's check out the sniper ranges here. And we got Stamkos and Drouin. Nope. Brett Connolly, Panik, Kucherov. They're still a little bit under overall for me. And that's about it. All right, so definitely the Detroit Red Wings are our best bet here for Gustav Nyquist. All right, so let's add Gustav Nyquist to this value here, and let's see if we can add in something else that would maybe want them here. For this one, I think we could add in. Okay, so we already got rid of Castles. We do have some potential players, like, who could we add in here? Maybe they want to take somebody off our hands, like Grenier and DeFazio. They want. Both of these guys have low values here. I would probably want to give them DeFazio because he's 76 overall. So let's give them Burrows, DeFazio, and I think there might be another player that they can take in this as well. Just another, like, they want Dustin Jeffrey, but I rather want to keep Jeffrey. We're going to keep Archibald as well. Mallet, they want Grenier. No, I'm fine with giving them Grenier. 2 grinders, I don't really need them. Detroit would have more than 50 players in their organization. So let me take off Grenier first. Let me actually see if this goes through. Alexander Burrows and Brandon DeFazio for Gustav Nyquist. This would be an insane trade if it went through. Proposed trade rejected isn't sufficient. Okay. Fair enough. Let's see if we can add in a defensive prospect that maybe we haven't signed yet. Or maybe they want a goaltender. That could be something as well. Trade Burrows and a goaltender to get a second liner. I would be perfectly fine with that. So Stanton's staying. Cedarholm. Maybe give this guy Liberati. Okay. Because he's unsigned and I don't think he's nice. Only going to be a top 4 AHLD man. Is there anybody else that they want that we have signed? We don't even have the Stewart guy signed either. We could give them, him, and let's try that. Proposed trade. Trade rejected. Isn't sufficient at all. We're almost there. I think we just need a little bit more onto this. Just need a tiny bit more. Goaltenders. Where's the goalies at? Goalies. What if I gave them Canada? And Detroit would have too many goaltenders. Okay. So those are league approved. Those guys aren't even signed yet. So what if I just added in Markstrom to this deal? Like straight up. I gave them Jacob Markstrom. They would have too many goalies. Okay, let me take a goalie back. Caro, I guess. Yeah, he would be the only logical player to take back from this. So, would this go through? It looks pretty weighted for Detroit. Alexander Burrows and Jacob Markstrom. DeFazio, not really going to turn out all too well. And then I could add in those other unsignee guys as well. I think they were both defensemen, right? Yeah, Liberati. And Stewart. Liberati and Stewart. All right, so let's see if this goes through. So Alexander Burrows and pretty much Jacob Markstrom for Gustav Nyquist, a new second line sniper type of player for this team. Will this trade go through? Trade rejected. On behalf of Detroit, I'm going to decline this offer, but I have to give you credit for doing a good job. The proposal. Ultimately, however, considering the need this offer would address, we don't think. They don't want to take on the salary of Alexander Burrows. Okay. So I think they want to take it, but they want us to retain maybe a little bit of salary on this. So let's take $1 million. Let's take in $1 million of Burrows' cap. Let's see if they'll do it then. So 3.5 mil cap for Detroit. And trade rejected. Okay, still. All right, let's add in another 0.5. And propose that trade. Trade accepted. I'm happy to accept this proposal on behalf of the Detroit Red Wings, and we consider it a done deal. So you know what? That's actually not a bad trade. We get rid of Burrows and his nasty-ass contract, so he can take... we were going to retain 1.5 mil for another 2 years, but that's honestly not too bad. Detroit's going to take his $3 million contract, and honestly, that's a good trade. They get a backup. They get a starting goaltender, kind of fairly young, 24 years old, and Markstrom. DeFazio, just a couple of Hammond-Eggers who aren't going to really turn out too well, but we get Gustav Nyquist in return. So we picked up 2 really good players here. We picked up Marcus Johansson, who is going to be put onto that second line as a playmaking position. And then pretty much in order to replace Higgins, we pick up Gustav Nyquist for Burrows and Markstrom. That's actually a pretty solid deal, if you guys would ask me. All right, so let's do our roster moves here. And let's move everybody around where they need to go. All right, so let's go for goaltenders first. So we need Caro. We want to send him down to the minors, right? Yeah. All right, so we want to send him down to the minors. Okay. So we have Miller and Lack, and then in the system we're gonna have Erickson, Kanana, and Caro. Okay. Okay, so that's good. Maybe not simulating today. It's gonna be a long GM episode, but I think we're good. All right, so defenseman now. All right, so we're going to have Hamhuis, Edler, Bieksa, Spezet, Tanev, and Stanton. I'm going to run with Stanton. We'll see how it works. Yannick Weber, you can go, waiver eligible players must be clear players. Will be going a chance to claim these players. He's a minor league top 2. Do I care that much about Yannick Weber? He's still got medium potential as a 7th defenseman. You know what? We'll keep him on the roster because I think he has to pass through waivers. Yeah. Okay, he has to pass through waivers. Because apparently we can't do preseason, which is weird. Maybe if I simulate up a day or two, then maybe that'll affect it. But I'll do the guys that I can do right now. All right, right wingers. So Johansson, Verbata, Hansen, Dorsett, and Cassian. Yeah, all these guys are gonna stay. Left wingers: Nyquist, Sedin, Sestito. Yep. And then center: Sedin, Matthias. We're gonna send Lyndon Vey back down though. No waivers eligible for Lyndon Vey. That's good. Sedin, Matthias, Richardson, and Bedino are my centers. Okay, that's good. And I think we are good to edit the lines up a bit. All right, so let's do best lines, I guess. Is there an option to do that? No? Okay, there's no options for best lines, which is yeah, that's no lines. Okay. All right, so starting lineup. So we want Sedin, Verbata, Johansson, Benino, and Nyquist. Right there. Nyquist is a left winger, and Marcus Johansson's a right winger. So switch those guys up. Hansen, Matthias, and Cassian. Yeah, well, Hansen's a two-way, a depth forward. Is there any place I could maybe play somebody else? Richardson, he's a third liner. Could Matthias play a wing? Matthias' faceoffs are at 80. Richardson's faceoffs are at 80. Hansen's, well, that was weird. Yeah, Hansen, he's got 60 faceoffs. Sestito, Sezatov. Maybe I could call up somebody else. I don't know. Hansen's a weird one. He's considered a depth forward, but I think I have to play him there in the third line. So I guess we'll put Matthias, Cassian, and Hansen there. I would like another third liner to play there. Maybe I could call up Jensen to play. Now, you know what? We'll leave her for right now. We'll leave Yannick Hansen there in the third line. Then fourth, Richardson, Dorsett, and Tom Sestito. Why not? Or maybe I could switch out Sestito for Jeffrey. Because I was looking at Jeffrey. All right, let me check out Sestito's stats. Defensively, he's a goon. He's an enforcer. Who am I kidding? This guy was on my team for the Flyers, for God's sakes. Let me go look at roster moves in this system. Let me look at overall here for all skaters. And let's look at Dustin Jeffrey for a quick minute here. He's definitely much better defensively than Sestito is as a two-way forward. He's a depth forward once again. Yeah, I'm calling up Jeffrey instead of I'm calling up Jeffrey and Sestito. You can, let's see if Sestito will have to pass their waivers or not. Yeah, he would have to go through waivers. Okay, but I'm gonna call up. Oops, sorry, did that again. Damn. All right, so we're gonna call up Jeffrey to play instead of Sestito. Dorsett can stay. I think Dorsett's actually not that bad defensively. Alright, so we're going to play dress Dustin Jeffrey, and we're going to scratch. We're going to scratch. Sestito, where are you at? Okay, I completely... Oh, he's up there. Duh. Alright, so we're going to put, yeah, we're going to substitute him for Jeffrey. And then I think I have to scratch Sestito, right? Or maybe they did it for me. No, I have to scratch him. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so Jeffrey will go in there. Dorsett, I think he's 3 stars for defense. He's actually good. He's got good defensive awareness, good shot blocking, good stick checking. All right, so we'll leave Dorsett there. He might be a penalty taker. He's got no discipline, but still, that's fine. So, yeah, that's that line. So, Sedin, Verbata, Nyquist, Benino, and Marcus Johansson. Hansen, Matthias, Cassian, and then Jeffrey, Richardson, and Dorsett. Okay, that's fine with me. Defense, Hamhuis, Bieksa, Edler, Spiza, Stanton, and Tanev. Okay, and then goaltenders, we're going to have Miller and Eddie Lack. Okay, that's good. Starting lineups for offense. Let's go for special teams here. Power plays. All right, so they want the Sedins with Verbata, Hamhuis, and Edler, Matthias, Benino, and Cassian with Bieksa and Spiza. So, Hamhuis, Edler. All right, Benino. I want Benino, Johansson. All right, Marcus Johansson. Changing current line. And not Sean Matthias here. We want the Goose. Gustav Nyquist. There we go. And now defensively. Is there somebody I could change up defensively? Who's not playing anywhere? We have all defensive defensemen, so you know what? The way they have the defense, I'm going to keep it because we have all two ways and defensive guys. We have no offensive defensemen, so that's perfectly fine. All right, so that's what that's going to be. Power play, 4-man power play. So Sedin, Hamhuis, Edler, Benino, and Verbata with BX and Spiza. Yeah, that's perfectly fine with me for 4-man. Penalty kill, they want Richardson and Henrik Sedin, Benino and Matthias. All right, defense, I'm fine with that. Hamhuis, BX, Tanev, and Spiza. I'm fine with that. Do they really want Spiza playing there? Yeah, he's got 4.5 stars for defense. It might as well. I guess they want to give Edler a break. Like, what's Edler's... Edler's got 85, 86. Yeah, I guess so. A lot of our two-way deep men are actually pretty good defensively, so you know what? It's fine. Penalty kill. Do I want Henrik Sedin playing up here, though? Richardson, I'm fine with. Benino and Matthias, I'm fine with. Maybe a guy like Yannick Hansen instead of Henrik. Let's see. Left wingers here. Or maybe Jeffrey goes in. No, I don't think maybe not Jeffrey. Let me take a look at Hansen. Maybe Yannick Hansen goes in there. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put Yannick Hansen on the penalty kill here. But I am gonna move up Matthias instead. All right, so we'll have Richardson, Matthias, and then Benino. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna move Benino up. All right, so I'm gonna put Benino with Matthias, and then Richardson with Hansen. Okay, for the penalty kill, and then 3-man penalty kill. Richardson and Benino. Nick Benino. There you go. That's all these special teams, I think. Extra attackers. 4-on-4 lines. Yeah, these are all fine. Extra attacker, Hamhuis and Sedin. Yep, that's fine. Shootouts. Yep, those are fine. That's all good. And then goaltenders, no lines. Yep, we're fine. Okay, so, whoops. Not no lines. I don't want that. All right, starting lineups. All right, there we go. So there's the lineups for the Vancouver Canucks. Long ass episode this time. If I split this into 2 episodes, that's one thing that I'll have to do. If I did not split it into 2 episodes, I hope you guys enjoyed this long ass episode of GM Mode. So hopefully we'll get started with simulating next time. We made some trades. I honestly think those were 2 really solid trades that we made. So if we look back on it, we got Gustav Nyquist from the Detroit Red Wings for Alexander Burrows, Jacob Markstrom for Gustav Nyquist, and then we got Marcus Johansson from the Capitals for Chris Higgins and Cole Castles and a second. So obviously those were some pretty big trades, and you know what? I actually think they improved our team. We're still a little bit lacking in the 3rd line position, but goaltending looks solid and our defense looks good. So hopefully we might be actually to progress pretty well with this team next time around, do some more simulating, and hopefully maybe those trades will actually pan out for us. All right, so guys, so thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys next time for another episode of our Vancouver Canucks GM Mode.